For nearly 9 decades, one structure stood watch over the city. Built in 1937, the water tower rose above Idaho Falls through generations of change. Through war, through growth, and through modernization. For many residents, it wasn't just infrastructure. It was part of the skyline, part of the city's identity. So when the decision was made to tear it down, the question wasn't just why now, but why at all? My name is Jacob Markovitz. I help families understand what life is really like in eastern Idaho. Not just the homes and neighborhoods, but the history and long-term planning decisions that shape a city. This video isn't about controversy. It's about documenting why the decision was made so years from now, people can understand what actually happened. When this tower was constructed in 1937, Idaho Falls was a very different place. At the time, elevated water towers were essential. They used gravity to maintain water pressure, they stored emergency water for firefighting, and they provided reliability during power outages. For decades, this tower did exactly what it was designed to do. It supported growth, it protected the city, and over time, it became something familiar. One thing needs to be very clear. Water towers are still necessary here. The city did not move away from water towers. In fact, a brand new water tower was built because of how the city is laid out and how its water system functions. Water towers provide gravity-fed pressure, emergency storage, and critical fire protection that ground-level systems alone can't fully replace. The issue wasn't the idea of a water tower, the issue was this specific tower, built in 1937. By modern standards, it had reached the end of its practical lifespan. The steel was aging, maintenance needs were increasing, long-term safety concerns were unavoidable. City estimates showed that simply keeping the old tower standing, even after taking it out of service, would have required around $4 million or more in repairs. And even with that investment, the tower would still hold only half the capacity of the new water tower. It would still fall short of current safety standards, and it would offer no long-term infrastructure benefit. It would extend the past, but not support the future. Instead, the city invested in a new modern water tower, built to current standards, designed to last decades. The new tower holds approximately 1 million gallons, double the capacity of the original tower. The total cost came in just under $9 million, funded through water rates. This wasn't a convenience upgrade. It was a long-term investment meant to support the city for the next 50 to 75 years. Once the old tower was taken out of service, another decision had to be made. Leaving a massive aging steel structure standing unused posed safety and liability concerns. The city approved demolition at a cost of around $629,000. That covered controlled dismantling, safety precautions, and proper site cleanup. At that point, demolition became the most responsible option. Long before it was infrastructure, the 1937 water tower became something else. It became a landmark. You could see it from across town. It showed up on family photos, in memories, in directions. That familiarity is why so many people wanted it to remain. Not because it was still needed for service, but because it had always been there. Cities grow by replacing systems, but they are remembered by what people feel when something disappears. Even when a decision makes sense on paper, the loss of a landmark leaves a space that numbers can't fill. For many people, this tower represented continuity, a reminder that no matter how much change, something familiar still stood. Today, the skyline is starting to change. Demolition has begun, and it won't be long before the tower is gone. For many people, when that happens, the skyline will never look the same. The original water tower will be missed, not because it failed, but because it served so well for so long that it became part of who the city was. And even when it no longer stands, its place in the story of Idaho Falls will remain permanent. This isn't just the removal of steel, it's the farewell to a familiar landmark, a structure that watched over the city for nearly 90 years. And that's something worth remembering.